blowup. Stay with us now for live coverage.
And good afternoon, everyone, at 1:29 live from the waterfront. You're watching our live special report, uninterrupted coverage of the implosion. We are 16 minutes away to the 7-second implosion of the 90-year-old Belknap building. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Prophet, reporting live down here, overlooking this building that sort of represents the last era of a business that was once king in Louisville, but is now going to go out with a lot of Hollywood flash. MTV has got its party underway over there. The stars Sylvester, Stallone, and Wesley Snipes are here. We are seeing a lot of people coming down to this area anyway, although police have said you couldn't get down here. There's some natural curiosity. And we are going to bring you complete live coverage of the implosion. And one other added touch, none of us will be talking when the building comes down. You get to see it and hear it all on your own. You'll see it in slow motion. And another added touch that you have by watching it here on television with us is our many different camera angles. First, high above the building is Sky 11, as you can see right there. Sky 11 is going to be the only live aerial view that you'll see on television this afternoon. Of course, Sky 11, the city's only broadcast helicopter, and we've got it. Plus, over in southern India, look from the helicopter there, something you can see better from southern Indiana right now, a flotilla of boats in the middle of the river and a great view of the Belknap building, believe it or not, from over on the shoreline of southern Indiana. Most people are heading over there, and they'll get quite a good view of that. And that is where our Melissa Swan is standing by with all the partiers who headed to Hoosier Land. Good afternoon, Melissa. Great blow-up weather, don't you think?
Oh, Doug, it could not be better. We are here in Jeffersonville at Towboat Annie's, and I tell you, I think the sky is as blue as I have ever seen it. The weather is tremendous. The temperature is perfect for this. Just a very, very, very slight breeze on the Ohio River. In fact, if you look over at the fountain, you can't even see that there's a breeze over here. So it should make for good implosion weather, whatever that is. Let me tell you a little bit about our view over here at Towboat Annie's. There is the Belknap building directly across. You could not have a better sight of those two buildings and the implosion and all of the fire that is also supposed to come out of those buildings, because this is, after all, part of a movie promotion stunt, so they have to have a few flames built in to go along with it. And also, take a look at the Flotilla again. These boats are really incredible. The boats you're looking at right now are in the Ohio River. They have a perfect view of what's going to happen to those buildings. I've always thought to be in a boat for thunder over Louisville would be absolutely tremendous. Well, to be in a boat right now for this implosion is going to be a wonderful picture too. You have huge yachts out there, everything from the yachts to fishing boats. We've even seen a few jet skis today, people going round and round in their jet skis and entertaining us kind of. So you have a lot of people out in the river itself. Here at Towboat Annie's, I'm sorry that it is packed. Even if you get in your car and hurry on down here, you can't get in to this barge that is also a restaurant. But along the Indiana shoreline, there's really plenty of room. It's not very crowded along there. If you would take I-65, the Kennedy Bridge, across the Ohio River, then all you need to do is kind of make a left when you get into Jeffersonville. Come on, make your way toward the river, and you would be able to see the buildings. There are a lot of people there sitting along. They've kind of a picnic atmosphere. This is a lot like Thunder over Louisville, maybe a great steamboat race. A lot of people are perched on the banks ready to watch that. And the restaurant here at Towboat Annie's has really taken on a very festive look. All the waitstaff has on hard hats, and some of the hard hats have dynamite connected to it. One person I want you to meet, these are some of the people who have come to this restaurant to get a good look at this implosion. This is Mr. Jim Benton. You can see from his hat, Benton's fine jewelry, and you just came over kind of a curiosity.
Welcome to the sunny side.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You told me you don't have any connection here with the buildings. But
No, I've lived here in Jeffersonville all my life, and of course the old building is a landmark. Every time you go down the riverside, you look at it. And I worked in Louisville for 40 years and went across the bridge twice a day, and so I just thought I'd come down and see them take it out.
All right, just curious, just want to know what happened to those old buildings. Huh?
Right.
All right, thank you, Jim. Thanks for being here, and have a good time. those boats and the people on Towboat Annie's have a great sight of what's going to happen today. If you could have a better seat, it probably would be in Sky 11. That's where our Chris Turner is right now. Chris?
And Melissa, I think this is going to be a fine seat. We're going to show you now what you will see from Sky 11. You can see the building and the MTV logo on the east side of the taller of the Belknap warehouses as our photographer Donnie Rourke zooms in there. Now in the center of the screen, perhaps you can see a white tent that would be just to the left of the Belknap warehouses. That's where the MTV television show is being taped right now and where the MTV party is as well. The Doug Prophet's location is in the grassy area a little further to the left to the east of the white tent. Because police have blocked off the area several blocks around the Belknap warehouses, people are staying fairly far away on the Kentucky side of the river, although we do see folks gathering along the railroad tracks that are again about a half mile, 3/4 of a mile to the east. On the Indiana side, as Melissa mentioned a minute ago, a lot of the boats in the river and folks on the shoreline between the Kennedy Bridge and the 2nd Street Bridge, although on the shoreline itself it appears there is some more room for folks to come in. One thing that will be interesting about all this, where the giant dust cloud will go once the implosion occurs in a few minutes. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes from here at Sky 11. Right now, let's go back downstairs to Doug Prophet.
Chris, you talk about giant dust clouds. I think we have a pretty good indication of where it's going to go, right over the media. That's what you see right here around my neck, folks. You've been wondering what that is. It's a dust mask. They told us to wear one, bring it down here because you've got 90 years of dust and bricks getting ready to come down to its knees, and the wind, believe it or not, is blowing this way. I can feel it at my back. 1,600 different charges have been placed in that building, which is actually 2 warehouses. It looks like one, but it's 2. In each different warehouse, I'm told late today by the CDI folks, the people who are going to implode the building, that it will come down, both of them will come down in different stages. Now, if you may have been wondering who's paying for all this, well, there's a lot of police officers out here. $30,000 worth of local police security is being picked up by the Warner Brothers movie company. Also, Warner Brothers kicked in $10,000 to our waterfront development plan, and they also had to pay about $10,000 to paint that big MTV sign on there. All week long, the preps have been underway, and demolition crews have been getting the old building ready for the implosion, as you can imagine. And even in the misty, cold rain of yesterday, people took last-minute pictures for souvenirs. And inside the building, crews were underway. As you see right there, they were packing the 1,600 sticks of dynamite into the columns. 1,600 sticks goes into all of the different columns that'll weaken the building, and then giant cables which are attached around the building will help pull it in as the blasts go off at about 1:45. We are about 8 minutes away from implosion time now. Now, as we've been telling you, MTV and Warner Brothers is involved in this. They're adding sort of a Hollywood glitz to this. It's for a movie called Demolition Man. Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes are starring in it, and they want to videotape this to use as a promotion for the movie, which is opening in theaters already coming up next weekend. The movie has been filmed. So let's give you an idea of exactly the Warner Brothers end of this. We have some graphics to show you what they want to do. They're going to put 36 drums of gasoline in strategic places throughout the upper floors of the building. Look for most of the fire to come out of the big MTV symbol when they blow this thing. Now the gasoline will not do anything to help bring this building down. It's just to add the Hollywood effect to all of this. As you can see, we've put the flames on the building, which we believe it will look like. This comes from records from the Kentucky State Fire Marshal. We were able to put that view together of what we think it will look like. Okay, we're about 7 minutes away from the implosion. Again, we are guaranteeing you no talk coverage when this comes down. They are going to be alerting us by a system of sirens. There will be a 2-minute warning, a 1-minute warning, and then a 15-second warning. We will take you through all of those, and then we will be quiet at about the 15-second mark and let you watch it through. A lot of people excited across the river. We can see the flotilla of boats from here. Let's go back to Melissa Swan. Hello again, Melissa.
Hello, Doug Prophet, and we want to show you some of the people who are here on Towboat Annie's in Jeffersonville, directly across from the Belknap building, so they have a wonderful view of what's going to be taking place. People have their cameras here, video cameras, still cameras. They also have binoculars. A lot of us wearing sunglasses because it's very bright out here. Very, very wonderful weather. You also have a lot of people in this town who are connected to the Belknap buildings in some way or the other, and there is someone here on the boat in Jeffersonville. I want you to meet Cindy McKenzie. Now, Cindy is probably too young to have ever worked at the Belknap buildings.
Never worked there.
But she has a direct relationship. Why did you come out here today? Did you tell me, Cindy?
Well, my grandmother, Esther Fry, she was 86, and she worked at the Belknap building for 40 years. And she moved to Clarksville when she was in the 37 flood, and she moved the house from Jeffersonville to Clarksville. So
those buildings, even though you didn't work there, hold a lot of history for you.
Yeah, they do, because it reminds me a lot of my grandmother. And
when you were little, did she drive by and say, that's where I work?
Yeah, that's where I work, and, you know, she always talked about it. And she was an office clerk there. So
thank you very much. Thank you. And Grandma is watching the implosion on TV today, I'm told. You know, those buildings hold a lot of history for so many people. Built in 1840, literally in the horse and buggy days. At one time, railroad cars drove through the Belknap warehouses. They were picking up everything from hardware, naturally, to flagpoles, to razors. There's so much that went on inside those buildings, and we want to take a look at part of that history right now. And also, while you're looking at the buildings, we can't forget that this is also a movie stunt, that the stars of the movie, Wesley, Snipes, and Sylvester Stallone, are in town, and we've also been talking to them about what they've been doing in Louisville for the last couple of days. Louisville? What do you think?
I like Louisville so far. Much of what I've seen of it is real nice. It's cool. People are really friendly, you know. I don't know where you heard the white buffaloes, though. Where do you get that? How do you... Yeah, you know, because I've seen signs where you say they have ribs, beef, and white buffalo.
Well, I went to a few places, like nightclubs and dance
like where?
places. One was called Coyotes.
Yeah.
And then we went to...
Did you two-step?
I tried. No, I did this new thing called like this slug shuffle. It was
Never
not...
heard of that
Yeah,
one.
believe me, you don't want to see it. It's like we left this trail across the floor. It was pretty ugly. It was...
And of course, they're out there for the main attraction today, the implosion of those buildings. Of course, all the fire that's set to come out of them, too. Our Chris Turner is in Sky 11, and he has a great view of what's about to happen. Chris?
I think this is the best seat in the house, so to speak, Melissa. We talked about the dust cloud a minute ago. The winds right now are variable, only about 5 miles an hour. So for all practical purposes, that means winds are calm. However, it's likely that when we see the dust cloud at the end of the demolition, that likely will come to the east a little bit and right into the folks at the party. The tent is all covered, all the equipment's covered, but still the party goers for MTV are likely to get a mouthful of dust or two, and that cloud could also go into the river, meaning that the boaters would have to beat a hasty retreat to the marina. Let's go to Doug now downstairs.
All right, Chris Turner, thank you very much. Back down here, we are just east of the building. We are going to be approaching the 2-minute mark for the implosion in just a little bit. You'll hear the siren go off as I'm talking here, but first, while we wait for that, let me show you another one of our news channel vantage points for you. This is on top of the Fetzer Refrigerator Company, which is just over that way. It's one camera location we have that gives you a view from top to bottom, as you can see right there. We have a camera on top of the building there, and we're going to be videotaping the implosion and then showing it to you right away. As a matter of fact, we should point out that once the implosion happens, we're going to let you watch it live from start to finish, pretty much until the dust settles to a good level. And then once things calm down and we hear the all clear signal, it'll be about a 10-second all clear signal afterwards, we're going to start our instant review for you. We're going to show you the implosion again from this camera angle, which is down here on the waterfront on Floyd Street, and then we're going to show you to you in slow motion. We're then going to show you the implosion again from Sky 11, and then we're going to go to that Fetzer location, which is quite a nice nice view up there. That is an unmanned location. We were told we couldn't be up there reporting to you live for the simple reason that they think that that is in the danger zone, what they call it the hot zone. Although it's very interesting when you talk to people in the history of these implosions, the building will, they say, come down on a dime. The only thing that's going to trail out of there is the dust, which is again why we're wearing these masks around us. We're also told to wear earplugs. I didn't bring mine, but I've noticed a lot of the bomb experts from Louisville police do have their earplugs. One other thing that the police department told me is that they are learning quite a bit on demolition from this project. It's quite an interesting project to them, and they went in and toured the building to pick up some pointers on how to look for bombs and how to detect them. Pardon me? 1 minute and counting now? Are they going to signal the sirens? Oh, okay. I have a Louisville police captain who's right down here, lieutenant, excuse me, and we are now 1 minute and counting. Lieutenant McDermott, can you give me a 30-second count? Okay. Do you expect to get a 30-second count? All right. I'm going to move out of the way and just let you all focus on the building right now. We were expected to hear a signal of sirens, but apparently we can't hear them from our location, so police are signaling us.
8, 7, 6, 5.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
There you have it, 90 years of dust and bricks. It looks like the cloud is definitely coming this way. It's definitely going to go over the MTV tent, it looks like a little bit. The interstate is closed right now. It's going pretty much directly up into the air and heading out over the river. We are not being impacted at all by the dust at this point. And it looked like a pretty successful implosion as far as these things go. You know, you've got this huge building that's got to come down in a matter of seconds. I didn't time it, but they were probably right on the money for 7 seconds there. The cloud still gaining height as it heads over the Ohio River, and the dust heading toward us now, but very slowly. Sort of when it takes its own course. You see from Sky 11 how it is spreading over the city right now. By my watch, they were right on the money for 1:45, although we didn't hear the audible signals. And the fire, as you saw, came out right the top 3 upper floors or so, and directly out of the MTV sign. All right, now we're going to start our reviews for you, show you the implosion again. First, let's go up to Sky 11. Just a few seconds ago, this is how it looked from our exclusive vantage point in the air. Well, that didn't look very good. Here we go. We're rolling it again in slow motion for you. See, the flames clearly cleared the building before it started coming down. What a sight. Of course, the last one they did in Louisville was in the 80s, and that was at Brown and Williamson. Now, let's go back to our location right down here on the waterfront. Watch it again. All right, we're going to show you our location in slow motion. Here it is. unbelievable. Just gorgeous day, beautiful pictures. Let's get the crowd reaction from our Melissa Swan. What did it look over in southern Indiana, Melissa? I'm very curious on that distance over there.
Doug, we had a great view. You can still see the smoke that's going up. I guess that's mostly dust going up into the air. It occurs to me, who gets to clean the windows over at the Presbyterian headquarters tomorrow? I don't know, but it was a spectacular sight, and all of these people were cheering. At first, it was very, very quiet here. No one was saying. It was like they were amazed. And then after the dust began to rise into the air, everyone was cheering and clapping. Let's let you see what we saw just a few minutes ago right here from our vantage point. There you can see the burst of flames coming out. You can hear the people in the background cheering it on. And now you're going to see it in slow motion. There you see the fire in slow motion. We could see it out the side of the building. And there it goes as that famous name kind of crumbles to the ground. The implosion of the Belknap building. Of course, that smoke went into the air slowly at first and then dissipated a little bit. But I tell you what, it is still very, very thick. Our Chris Turner is in Sky 11 where he has a great view. Chris, did you get a little bit of a dusting up there?
No, we were in pretty good position, Melissa, off to the east because the plume of the dust is going up and a little bit to the east. The folks in the tent are pretty well going to be unscathed. Right now you're looking north from the south side of the warehouse, and it's got kind of a reddish and a gray tint to it. I guess that may be because of some of the bricks and the dust and all of that. But the view from here, you can see the fireball very clearly, and then instantly the dust just billowed. It was very thick. You couldn't even see through it or see the remnants of the building behind it. Now I understand we are ready to go to our view from our camera atop the Fetzer building at 209 East Main Street. This is a view of the warehouses in the clear. We had a camera that was unmanned and we are ready to roll that tape now. And you can see the smoke again. It billowed very quickly and was very thick. And now we can see the smoke going out over the river. Some of the boaters, as we talked about before, doing that retreat back to the marina. Let's go downstairs to Doug.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris. I still believe this, that so far what I've seen, it looks like that Fetzer camera location that we got for you was the most spectacular because you had that top to bottom complete shot. Let's show you what's happening here now. We didn't even have to use our masts over here in our media location just downriver from this, although I can feel a little bit of dust in my contacts. So we must be getting a little bit, but the dust is mostly going over the river. Chris was right. Those folks on the river, they right now are tasting the Belknap building. Let's show you that Fetzer tape one more time. This is in slow motion. What a shot there, I tell you. It was amazing because the bricks really just seemed to crumble down like water. It was going so smooth. The CDI folks have got to be extremely proud and happy with how smoothly this went. It doesn't appear that any of the other buildings were damaged, and you got to look at this shot right now. As the dust is clearing, we can see a picture of downtown Louisville we've never been able to see before. You can see directly the entire administration building of the old Belknap building, which is now Humana Waterside, coming in the clear. It was always blocked, and you can see directly into the Galt houses and the downtown skyscrapers. It truly changed our downtown landscape. Let's go back to Melissa Swan. It must look like a big hole from southern Indiana, Melissa.
Yes, it looks like a big hole, and it also looks like a big dust cloud. Actually, Doug, we can't see the Louisville skyline all that well where the implosion took place because the dust is so thick. And I'll tell you, a lot of these boats have been scurrying to get out of the way. I think they got dusted a little bit more than they realized that they were going to be. Here I have a gentleman who was here in Jeffersonville who witnessed the implosion. This is Henry Farver. Was it worth it?
Yeah, well worth it, especially the excitement of seeing an old building come down in such a few seconds and knowing that they're making a shot for a movie out of it also. And it's pretty awesome altogether.
Now, you said you got the time confused. You thought it was 10 o'clock this morning, so you've been here how long?
I've been here since 9:30 this morning. We've been sitting out here on the shores, and we walked down here and thought we'd go a bite to eat at noon.
Was it still worth it after all that time?
Yeah, it sure was, yeah. You don't see this every day.
No, you don't see it every day. Thank you very much, Henry. Appreciate it. As we said, a lot of people taking pictures, and they are using their binoculars. You can see that the dust is beginning to clear now. If you can look at where the buildings were back in there, the implosion has taken place, and there still is dust, but you can see that there is a vacant spot on the skyline in Louisville. Doug, how does it look from your vantage point?
Melissa, it is now clearing out some more. I mean, from this point, I mean, we still have some more dust to clear, but we can't even see a pile of bricks yet, which if it fell that flat, I'd be quite amazed. We have about 3 minutes left in our live WHAS 11 special report here. Before we leave, we want to show you our different angles again. Let's start with Sky 11. Here's the implosion again from the helicopter. Again, you've got those flames just going straight in the air, and then all that dust and brick coming right down on the property. Okay, now let's go to our view. This is our view, slow motion. Okay, let's take you across the river in southern Indiana, slow motion. There you go, lots of shots of the Belknap implosion, something we've been reporting on heavily here for the matter of weeks, and it finally all came down. As we take a look at our location now, the dust is clearing. We do see a pile of bricks, but it's about as flat as you can get. Well, you've been watching a special report live here on Kentuckiana's news channel, the Belknap implosion. Of course, we've got another one coming up in Louisville in about a month, and you can expect big exclusive coverage from Kentuckiana's news channel then, including a lot of more camera angles like we did here for you. Now, don't forget, our newscast comes up at 6:30 tonight. We'll have complete reports on what you saw today. For now, I'm Doug Proffitt, reporting live WHAS 11. Thank you very much for watching.
This has been Belknap Blow Up, a presentation of Kentuckiana's news channel, WHAS 11.
My name is Crawford, Tom Crawford. I once worked for one of the largest insurance companies in this world, so I know how they think. Every year these companies spend vast sums of money training their claim people to make sure their company comes out